It's time to sip that coffee, get your mind right, and vibe with the queen herself. We're dishing out hot topics, wellness tips of the day, and things that make you go, Let's get this palace party started.
All right. Y'all know what time it is. Welcome, everybody. It is Wednesday morning corporate segment, and I hope you got your coffee ready. You're ready to sip and just take in some of that good old corporate strategy that we offer here on Wednesday mornings. Welcome. Listen. Let me ask you a question for those of you that are tuned in. Let me ask you something really quick. And welcome. If you're tuned in on the YouTube platform, thank you. We appreciate you joining us here. And we also welcome those of you that are tuned in every Wednesday morning on Twitter. We recognize that some of you listen. You can't always call in. We do open up the segment at the end of the show for you to be able to call in, ask any questions, gather any advice, or just present something that you're trying to navigate through. It's real life over here, and that's why we host these segments, right? But how many of you are taking advantage of this beautiful, beautiful fall weather? If you have not gotten outside, had lunch outside, just let a little bit of the sunshine shine on your face, you are missing out, my friend. It could be as simple as just, I don't know, coming to work a little bit early after you leave Starbucks or wherever you get your morning coffee and just hanging out. The weather is absolutely divine where I'm at. And if you haven't already, I highly encourage you to enjoy life, enjoy the weather. Okay. That's a huge component. And it's one of the most organic prescriptions to like anxiety, stress, and all of that good stuff that happens, because we do work. And sometimes you're working with difficult personalities and things that are beyond your control and the confines of corporate America. But today we are talking quitting your job in 90 days, the corporate exit strategy. Now, this topic is right on time for some of you, and it's not relevant for some of you. Let me say it again. It's right on time for some of you, and for some of you, it's just not relevant. You show up on Wednesday mornings, you enjoy the segment, you're here, but you are completely satisfied with where you are, you love what you do, and you're good to go. But there are some of you, you've been contemplating for a while, stepping out on faith. You want to do something different. You're ready to shake things up in your life. And you were just, I don't know, maybe you're waiting for the perfect moment. Well, there's no such thing as a perfect moment. Only in a perfect world do we get perfect moments. However, I would like to give you some strategies and some tips. So in this video today, we're going to talk directly to exiting corporate America and building your own path. Notice I didn't say building your own business, your own startup, your own path. Okay. And we're going to walk through the step-by-step corporate exit plan. Take what you need and discard the rest. I'm really excited about this. I'm really excited about this topic. But before I jump in, I don't want to skip out of what we normally do. And because I know some of you have your words ready to go. Inez Martin, thank you. She says the weather is beautiful today in Texas, driving with the sunroof open, listening to. Yes, I can only imagine. So before we get started, really, really quick, I want to take a couple of seconds. Don't fire off right away. Think about it. Be mindful. Then put it in the chat. How are you feeling right now? Or what is it that you're trying to feel at the end of the segment? How are you feeling? Drop it in the chat. I'm not going to read all of them. I'll kind of peruse through really quick, call out some powerful words, and then we'll take it from there. Toot Latrice says, I am feeling joyful. All right, we got joyful from Toot Latrice. All right, Toot, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. All right, so we got a joyful. I can work with joyful. We're going to move on. Oh, we got a few more coming through. We have inspire, we have content, we have nervous. Nervous. Be anxious for nothing, but through all things by supplication and prayer. What are you nervous for? Why are you nervous? Alicia McCarthy is feeling nervous. I'm nosy. Why are you nervous? Typically, we're nervous about, well, Let me see what you say first. Nah. Nene is feeling hopeful. Understood. One word, y'all. One word. Fabulous. We got motivated. We have calm, ambitious, driven, resilient. Hyra Beauty. One word. We got you. Hyra. One word. You cannot be feeling all of these at one time, but maybe you are. All right. All right. See, Hyra, you never know when I'll show up in the chat and call y'all out. Listen, let's get it together. All right. Chest up, chin up, chest out. We're going to stop moseying and we're going to stop sitting in spaces, giving way to anxiety, stress, and depression. Chin up, chest out. We get to choose how we show up. If it's beyond your control, listen, let it go right now. Let it go. If anxiety is going to overtake you, then make sure you give it a run for its money, okay? Okay, there's nothing to be nervous about. Alicia, I'm going to come back to that. All right, maybe I'll come back to that at the end. All right, let's get into the segment today. I know those of you that are tuned in, you are ready. We're talking quitting your job in 90 days. Today's November 5th, December, January, February. 90 days from today will be February 5th, 2026. Are y'all ready? Yes. Okay, let's just start off by saying, what's possible for you in 90 days? If you take a second and you just imagine, and listen, for those of you that are tuned in from work, we appreciate you. Please feel free to use the chat feature. Later on, I'll open up the lines. If you're feeling froggy, jump, click the link. But I know some of you can't come up, so please feel free to utilize that chat feature, okay? Should you have any questions and or comments. Anything's possible in 90 days, but as it relates to you, what do you envision? What comes to mind that you could achieve by February 5th, 2026? Here's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about if you are indeed planning to exit the corporate work world, the workplace, the job market in 90 days, we're going to evaluate your why. That's the first thing, your WHY. And you have to set a freedom number. We'll talk about that in a minute. The second thing we're going to talk about is mindset shifts, Alicia, because you can't quit your job and be nervous and throw a pity party about it and be unsure about it. You've got to shift your mindset. And as a matter of fact, the mindset should have been shifted before you put in a notice, but that's okay. There's still room to grow. We're going to talk about income replacement. How do you plan on supplementing your income? How do you manage the risk? How do you tend to your finances? And managing the psychological leap from going to an employee to an independent pathway, whether you're aiming to be an entrepreneur, stay-at-home mom, or you just want to take off and you'll figure it out when you get there. Okay. That's it. That's all. All right. So let's do this. This is what I want to do. I think the best place for us to start would be the why. I think so. Your why, your clarity, and where you are with your mindset. 90 days from now, I want you to imagine that you're waking up and listen, you don't have to get in the car to commute. You're no longer getting dressed to go into an office, no cubicles, no coworkers. All of that is gone. Instead, you're working from a space that you choose on a schedule that aligns with you. And that's so important, right? A dedicated workspace, because I don't know if you all, that's why I said 90 days, because it's going to be very important that you prepare your space, you prepare your vision. We just don't do things blindly around here. Maybe your dream is to work from home. Have you carved out or have you identified a place in your home that you'll be working from? Have you taken the first steps into getting that spot, that place ready? If not, this is probably one of the first things you're gonna want to do within this 90-day realm, okay? Stepping away from your job, tapping out of the corporate realm does not mean you're rich. It doesn't mean you won the lottery. It means you had a plan. What? Is that simple? Listen, those that do, those that don't, spectate. It simply means you had a plan, a roadmap. We don't do things aimlessly. We don't go in blindly. We plan accordingly. We're strategic, and then we execute. And that's why this title, the title of this segment is called, what is it called? Quitting your job in 90 days, the corporate exit plan. You got to have a plan. You got to have a plan in place. So the idea is to go from being a corporate employee to an independent free agent, whatever that means for you. Why is it 90 days? Queen Sheba, why did you say 90 days? Why didn't you? I mean, you could have said 6 months, 12 months, 9 months. 90 days is long enough to build momentum, to get a head start. But it's short enough to get your ass moving. How about that? Because if I say 6 months, it would have taken you 6 months. If I said 9 months, it'll take you 9 months. But if I say you got 90 days, then guess what? You're going to make some happen in 90 days. You get what I'm saying? So over the next few minutes, probably the next 20, 25 minutes, I'm going to take you through the corporate exit plan, what you need to do to prepare, how to act and behave, what you need to do over the, how to act over the next 90 days, and how to walk up out of that job throwing up the deuce. The deuce is the peace sign, okay? Walking into something better, even if it's as simple as freedom, being able to be home, enjoy the fruits of your labor, okay? Now, whether you're feeling stuck, some of you want to go because you feel stuck. You feel like you've hit a wall, undervalued, underappreciated, tired of the commute, or you just, you know what? It ain't even that. It's not even that, Queen Sheba. I just need the freedom. I've been working all of my life. I understand. I've done it. There has to be more. I want the freedom. If that sounds like you, then this segment is for you. But you got to prepare. Now, the first step is we got to talk about your why. Like I said, this segment isn't for everybody. So don't be saying, Queen Sheba's over there telling people to quit their jobs. No, this is for a specific, this is for a specific demographic. Let me ask you, what is your why? You got to be grounded. You got to get crystal clear on your why. Otherwise, you're going to be feeling nervous, like Alicia. Nervous, unsure, not necessarily confident, and probably having second guesses or thoughts. Oh my God, what did I do? No. If we prepare, this should be victory. This should be scoring a touchdown. Thank you, Bill. Bill said the best voice in podcast history. Hey, Queen. You know what? I'm going to have to give you a round of applause for that. How much do I owe you for that, Bill? All right. Thank you, Bill. We appreciate you pulling up and enjoying the segment with us. So first things first, what is your why? You got to be grounded in your why. Is your why flexible? Are you leaving because of freedom? Are you leaving because there's an opportunity to create more income? Is it creative freedom? Do you feel like, listen, I've been doing this for this corporation for a number of years. I can take my marbles and go play elsewhere. And as a matter of fact, Queen Sheba, the elsewhere is in the privacy of my own home. I can create a think tank in my own home. I can set up an office and I can mass produce 10 times better than I ever could for them. And I know I can do it. I can code. I can outperform my previous performance. All right. Then this is for you. Or is it that you're just looking for a better work life balance? It's not about money. It's not about performance. You just want to be balanced. You're at an age where you're tired of the stress. You're minding your mental health. You're minding your overall health and well being. Hell, maybe you just want to go to the golf course every now and then without asking or raising your hand for permission and having to put a day off on somebody else's calendar. Then this one is for you. Now, my question to you again is, what is your why? Why are you leaving? Write it down right now. What is my why? I am leaving because blank. And the reason why this is so important, because some of you don't live alone. Some of you are married. Some of you have joint finances. Some of you have children, kids in school, daycare. Some of you have somebody else to answer to. And you got to be clear on your why, even if they don't understand it. The second thing I want to ask is, are your finances ready? Oh, yeah. What's the magic number? Because freedom doesn't mean no income for months. It means smart financial runway. Do you have enough runway while you build and while you figure things out? How much do you need? I'll give you an example. Some people say, well, you should have 6 to 9 months, 6 to da 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 saved up. Not necessarily. See, if you're a creative thinker, let me tell you how you can do this thing. I asked you earlier, I said, what's your freedom number? It doesn't necessarily mean what you have saved. What is your freedom number? In order for me to walk out that door, this is number 2. In order for me to walk out that door come February 5th, 2026, I need to have what lined up? Is it a certain amount in the bank? Is it 3 months of your car note paid up? Is it 6 months of your rent or your mortgage paid up? Now, do you see what I mean when I say freedom number? It's not necessarily 6 to 9 months of income. What's your freedom number? For some of you, you may say, you know what? I'm going to pay up my mortgage 6 months. I'm going to pay up my car note for 3 months. I am going to clear out any small debt that I owe, not day-to-day household expenses, utilities, but any loans that I have, any small loans, any credit card payments. I'm going to pay all of that off. And then I am going to make a 6-month mortgage payment that'll carry me from February, March, April, May, June, July, August. And then I'm going to pay my car note up for 3 months that'll carry me from February, March, April, May. So I'm good into August on the mortgage. I'll be good into May on the car note. And then if I have that, that'll make me more comfortable walking out of corporate America. The first month, I'm going to do A. The second month, I'm going to do B. You get what I'm saying? So number 1, what is your why? Number 2, what is your freedom number? Number 3, are y'all ready? Begin building before you exit. Number 3, you got to start moving, basically. Lights, camera, action. You got the plan. You understand. You have the timeline. Now you got to move. We don't move after we put in the notice. You have to move now. That'll be step 3. You have to begin building before you exit. Use your evenings, your weekends to test your idea, to earn side income, to learn new skills, to set up your office, whatever it is. You got to be moving. You cannot sit on your ass and wish upon a star. This is for the people that are ready to move, that are ready to build, that are ready to start to put things in place, even if it's as simple as clearing out space in that bedroom upstairs, in the kitchen area, ordering a small desk, whatever it is. The goal is to not go from 0 to hero overnight, but you're going to step into a new structure. Okay. You're going from employee, an employee, dedicated employee, because I know all of you are perfect employees. All of you love your jobs. It's going to be very hard. I'm being sarcastic. Okay. But we're going to shift from that employee, that stellar, and who's waiting for the weekend, to the independent agent who's in control of your days. That doesn't mean you're a millionaire. That doesn't mean you need to go out and have this masterpiece of an idea. You have a blank canvas. I'm not asking you to create a masterpiece. I'm just asking you to paint. What is your why? What is your freedom number? What are the next steps you're going to take in the next 90 days? All right, so let's get into a plan, right? Because it's important for me to give you some tips and strategies. Like I said, you have to make this blueprint you're on. We're going to go from day 1 to day 90, what you're going to do, how you're going to measure your progress, and also what you need to feel secure before making the leap. Maybe some of you, it'll take 4 months. Some of you may be out of there and say, to hell with it, Queen Sheba, 90 days. January 5th, I was out of there. Well, listen, kudos to you. You're ahead of the deadline. Some of you may not make it to January 5th. Come December 1st, you may say, listen, I was so ready. I was so pumped. I couldn't sit still anymore. I couldn't hold my peace. And I left on good terms. But I was ready to go. All right? Let me see what you guys are saying in the comments, and then we'll continue. Well, I don't really see too much. Okay, let me continue. All right. Let's see. You got your freedom number. Somebody give me an example of their freedom number. I just want to see, because I don't see anything in the chat, but I'm a very detailed. If you feel comfortable for the freedom number, I'd like to see. Only if you feel comfortable. Don't make up something, because I push back. Part 1, we got to prepare, right? And when I say your freedom number, can you articulate it? Because maybe your husband or your wife or your partner is going to ask, wait a minute, what do you mean you're going to leave your job? What about this? What about that? Now that's your time to articulate your freedom number. It's not just, oh, I got $12,000 saved. No, articulate, create a story, walk them through what that means. And I'm just trying to see how savvy you guys are and how you sit in front of wisdom and then you take it and you're able to implement it and articulate it in your real life. Because you can't be coming over here every Wednesday and showing up and not being able to take some of this good old stuff I'm giving you and not articulate it back as it applies to your life. So Tisha must have just gotten here. She said, what's a freedom number? You're probably going to have to go back and do replay, Tisha. Okay. Don't just throw a number on my screen. Walk me through it. Articulate what the freedom number is. That's a lot of money. And that's kind of unrealistic things. We're talking a 90-day plan, right? You got to be realistic, y'all. That's why I said don't just throw out a number. We're talking a 90-day plan for people that are actually ready to walk out, that are ready to exit corporate America. You're not going to save $350,000 in 90 days unless you are already in a position where you don't even work a regular 9 to 5. Now, things, I'm going to have to reel you back in. Okay, let me go to this one. All right, JF, okay, you know who I'm talking about. Says cash flow. Income saved up for 3 months, more than what 3 months of bills would be, maybe 2 times or 3 times money in the bank of what monthly bills debt is to pay, have the money saved up. Okay. So you can't mimic. This isn't about mimicking anybody. So did you just come in, Themes? I'm glad you came in. And I assume when you put it in the chat, you don't mind me using you as an example or calling out. So we're not mimicking anyone. We are creating our own plan. And I think a lot of us have a lot of stress and anxiety and imbalance with work and life because we're mimicking. We are creating your own personal exit strategy. We're not mimicking our mothers, our fathers, their time. That experience was completely different. This is your roadmap because the 350 is not even relevant to what we're talking about. So I need you to pull up things and tune in, and you're sharp because I see you here every Wednesday. But we're talking realistic 90-day goals. You get what I'm saying? Because otherwise, you're going to float and you're going to drift off from Shore. And you're going to be like, that corporate segment didn't really work, but I need you tuned in. I need you aligned. Okay. Kat says I could live off of 1K a month. Now, Hyra said the number should be above your mortgage, cars, bills, ensure you have enough. But no, for you. So we're not going to tell anybody else what they should be doing. What's your freedom number? Because maybe that's not true. Maybe these financial experts, I'm not saying they're right or wrong, that are giving you this. For some of you, you'll never be able to successfully obtain some of that stuff that they're saying because you simply don't make enough. Y'all, I am challenging you to forget everything that everybody else has told you and to tap in and pull up for yourself. Forget all of that rhetoric. I'm asking you, those of you that are tuned in today, what is your financial number? What's your number? What's your freedom number? So Tisha, I can't go back because I spent a great portion already talking about it. So you're gonna have to go back and replay. No, I got you, Tisha, but I because I'm gonna lose time if I go back. Okay, that may be. Okay, I'm not here to argue, but I'm just saying. You said that's a realistic number for those who have planned before they move. You own before. I mean, if you got $350,000 saved, then you can leave today. But we're talking about people that don't have that. I like to deal in the realm of reality because if so, they wouldn't be working right now. People that have that don't need what I'm talking about on Wednesdays. You don't need me. You're already there. So people that are here probably don't have 300. Let me drop the link because see, now y'all are trying to play with me and my intelligence. Come up so I'm not talking to myself because I feel like arguing. No, people that are here are not free. People that are here on this segment are not free. Let me tell you why. Because you don't devour and digest that which you've already had. You get what I'm saying? People that are here, I guarantee you they don't have $350,000 saved up. This is not the content they need. Those people are in a different podcast, a different segment, a different realm of YouTube. Because they've already had they've already gone through these steps. You get what I'm saying? I dare anybody to challenge me on that in the most beautiful way. I dare anyone to challenge me on that. Most people that have already saved 350K are not listening to Queen Shiba's Wednesday morning segments because they've already checked that off the list. I know it's not a fortune. Listen to what I'm saying, Thames. You're not connecting with me. Most people, I'm not talking to those of you. Most people that have 350K saved up are not here. They don't come here. They don't need me. They've surpassed the wisdom that I'm giving. Do you have 350K saved up? Because if so, you need to challenge yourself, Thames. You got to go to a different realm of wisdom because you've already checked off the list what I'm giving. So I'm talking to the ones that are not there yet, but it's still there. Let me see if I have any realistic comments. Victoria's Beauty says, I have 12K, but I know that can go fast. All right, this is realistic. That can go fast, but that's okay. You're probably ahead of probably 76% of most Americans who don't have even $1,000 in the bank for an emergency fund. I know most people don't have $350,000 saved up, and I'll tell you how I know. Because people were about to lose their minds when they found out they wouldn't be receiving SNAP benefits on November 1st. So we can't talk about this fantasy world of what people should be doing. We're talking about the reality of what is and what happens in most average Americans' day-to-day life. Some of you, listen, you're up there. You're in a 90%. I'm not talking to you. Sit this one out. Got it? All right. Now, you're going to take that 12,000, figure out what your freedom number is. I know you have 12K, but what is your freedom number? Is it 12K? Is it 15K? Is it 22K? In order to be successful, you have to listen and be able to process. My question is, what is your freedom number? To all of you that's tuned in, for you to feel comfortable giving your notice come February 5th, 2026. What's your freedom number? And then once you've established your number, can you articulate the story and the action that you plan on taking behind that? That's it. That's it. All right. Listen, y'all, we're not talking, don't go off script. Follow me. Don't be telling people what they should be doing with their money. Y'all are supposed to be here for your own plan. Y'all are see, now I'm starting to spot my trouble employees. Now I'm starting to spot my wildflowers. But the point I'm trying to make, Alicia, is that if most people, I get all of that, but if most, the point and the reality of me doing corporate segments is for the people that need a little bit of extra wisdom, a little bit of guidance. I'm not talking to the experts, because those experts, listen, if you're there, my recommendation is you go start a YouTube. You go start a corporate forum, and you share some of that valuable information that you've been able to take in. I think it would be great. But I think if you're a senior in high school and you come back to challenge what the middle schoolers are doing, it's kind of out of alignment. You get what I'm saying? They're not there yet. It's not an equal playing field. I'm talking to those that are on their way. They're not quite sure what the next step should be. I get most of you are gone, you're doing your thing. Then I always say, hey, if you're there, go spread your wings and fly. You shouldn't be the smartest person in the room. You shouldn't be the most accomplished in the room. Because, I mean, if you're not giving that knowledge to somebody else, what good is a diamond nobody can see? That's it. That's all I'm saying. But this is for the folks that need it the most. Articulating your freedom number. What you need, what you want. Your freedom number can be as simple as, listen, I got 12K saved. I'm going to maybe pay 2 months of rent, 3 months of rent, 2 notes of car notes. But let's just say some of you, and I'm sorry, the reality of it, a lot of people don't make a lot of money. Let's just say some of you make $1,500 every 2 weeks before taxes. That's about $3,000 total income before taxes, right? And you say, you know what, Queen Sheba, if I can find something that will allow me to make $5,000, $4,500 a month, I'm okay with that. And I think I can do that by doing ABC. And I'll have a 3-month head start. I'll have a 2-month head start because I don't have to worry about mortgage. I don't have to worry about car payments. And I have, after I pay off that, whatever that is, I'll have 8,000 left. I plan on getting a weekend job as a barista. And then from there, this is my plan. Got it? Now, when it comes to the freedom number, here's the thing. The day, the week of, the day before, whatever, but not the day after. That rent check, that mortgage check should have already been submitted. If you're planning on operating your freedom number in the capacity where you're paying things off ahead of time, because if you leave it in the bank, there's a high probability you may utilize it for other things that you hadn't intended on using it for, and now you're kind of operating outside of the scope of your plan. Break down your salary, break down your living expenses, the non-essentials, and a little social hour, okay? Don't jump right from work into big commitments. You want to make sure you're lowering the risk and that you have a clear mind and your roadmap for the future is concise, is strategic, and it's solid. So even if you have a side hustle in mind, or if you're going to start a business, whatever you're going to do, small commitments, very small commitments at first, after you put in your notice, okay? Manage your relationships throughout the 90 days. Leave your doors open professionally. Exercise professional manners. And when you leave, I'm sorry, in the process of you preparing to leave for February 5th, 2026, don't be too loud. Don't, it's nobody else's business. Your personal goals. This is your vision board. I wouldn't share. I wouldn't share too soon because you're still trying to figure it out. You're going to put your mask on first and then offer assistance. And once you're clear and you've done everything you need to do that we're talking about today, then maybe you can share with coworkers or friends, you know. But until then, you've got to be very careful. But make sure you leave quietly, you manage your professional relationships, and you leave in a way that the doors are still open. I want you to review your benefits. This is where we're approaching open enrollment season. Look at your benefits and then compare it to healthcare in the marketplace. Okay. Some of them have COBRA plans where you could actually utilize their plans for like a year, up to a year or 2 years after leaving. Maybe some of you have a situation where your partner or your spouse can put you on their plan and you say, I'll keep the vision, the dental, and the mental health, the EAP, but then I'll ask my husband or my wife or my partner to supplement my medical portion onto theirs. Those are things that you would probably want to think about, okay? Let me pause for a second. The most important part will probably be the financial piece. And that's going to seem very scary. Not the preparation, but the next. What do I do next? And that's why it's going to be very important for you to plan that out and think about your freedom number and how you plan to supplement your current salary. If you make, let's say $2,500 every 2 weeks before taxes, by the time you're taxed, you're probably bringing home about 1,900. That'll give us 3,800 a month. And then you find out you can go down to the nice little grocery store, the Whole Foods or Central Market, and make 5,500 working 3 or 4 times a week. Is it worth the freedom? Or are you addicted to the title and the position and the role and the glory that comes with that? See, that's why I say, what is your why? Your why has to be bigger than the title. Your why has to be bigger than the brag. Oh, I work for this corporation. I do this. I get, what are you after? That's the why. That why has to be solid. Maybe you have a personality that you're in commitment to, you're in relationship with that may not agree with it. And they say, I don't want you leaving your job. I don't blah, blah, blah. Well, that's why we talked about it earlier. No, this is my why. Here's my plan. And that's why I said be very careful sharing too soon if your plan is not ironclad and you have somebody else to answer to in your home. People respect a good plan. People respect those that can articulate. This is supposed to be a beautiful thing. So you don't want to present this to those in the home to whom you're committed to in a very antagonistic way where you're arguing, you're going back and forth. That would probably make me not want to support you too, even if it were ironclad, because you should be open. You should be willing to want to discuss and not become defensive about it, period. If you come with a defensive mindset, people often put up walls. Does that make sense? You push, they push. You're defiant, they're defiant. So some of you have those personalities in the chat. It comes out. So you're going to have to soften yourself up if this is truly indeed what you want. You can't, and there's other people in the house that this could impact. Even if not directly, psychologically, it could impact them. Whoa, what? Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm not sure about this. What happens? What if you don't? And you know, the world, the way of the world and what's going on today, those are genuine concerns. But do you have the personality Do you have the interpersonal skills and also the leadership skills to be able to sit down first with yourself over the course of the next 90 days, ironing, ironing out your plan? I gave you the steps. I gave you step 1, 2, and 3. I'll repeat it again and then I'll open the lines. Step 1, remember, I said establishing your why. What is your why? What do you mean, my why? Why are you leaving? That's what your husband's gonna want to know. That's what your wife is want to. Hell, some of your children. Wait a minute, mom. Why are you leaving your job? You've been there. Why are you leaving? Is it the flexibility? Is it because you need more creative freedom? A better work-life balance? Maybe you just listen. I have nothing left, honey. I'm stressed. Yes, I have a great job, but I'm dying on the inside. I need a break. And maybe some of you, your exit strategy is just temporarily. You know what, Queen Sheba, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to take 6 months off from the workplace. I'm a nurse. I know I can get work all the time around the clock. And I'm just going to breathe. That's good enough. But make sure you articulate that. Is it a better work-life balance? Is it more flexibility? The second step was to get your your freedom number ready. We know you're leaving, and we know you're leaving because. And then if you were explaining this to someone in the household, a friend and or a family member, and here's what I've been able to do. I identified my freedom number. I know that I'm responsible for the light bill. Guess what? I have this amount saved up. I'm going to pay that up for 3 months. I've already paid up the car. February, I'm going to pay up the car note for 3 months. I've already paid off those small little cards that I used to shop at Fashion Nova. You have? Now, wouldn't that make somebody in your household more open to supporting you if you come already prepared and talk about what you have done and what you've identified? And here's my next step, as opposed to, I'm leaving. I'm tired of it. You want to see people go into panic mode? Talk to them and don't have a plan and just start talking. Because you think you're smart and you tuned in and you came over here, and watch your household get riled up real quick in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then the third step, you begin building before you exit. That, like I said, that could be as simple as carving out a space in your home, working on a new skill. Um, Maybe some of you said, I'm going to take a break, but I would like to work the weekends, maybe 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Figuring out where you can go in your neighborhood, in your local areas, to be able to do that. Because, Queen Sheba, I still want to stay sharp. I still want to socialize. Man, that sounds like a good plan to me. If you came home to me and you told me this is what you're doing, your freedom number is right, the money's in the bank, you've already taken care of it, I wouldn't be worried at all. I hope that helps. And the reason why I didn't give you a more in-depth plan, because Rome was not conquered in a day. My why, this is all you need. This is your prep work. You know what? They call it homework. I call it life work. This is your life work. Once you've got your why clear and your finances mapped out, and then figuring out how you're going to supplement your income, now you're ready. The first 30 days, you're going to focus on your why again. Because trust me, you don't have your why in this moment. Because a savvy spouse, a savvy child, a savvy mother-in-law, a savvy mother, uncle, sister, brother could poke holes in your theory if you're not confident. So the first 30 days, you're going to sit down, you're going to work on your why. That's between you versus you. Why do I really want to leave corporate America? And tell yourself the truth. That's nobody else's business, but you need to know why. Because then you can build on the why. The why is the foundation. It's the cement. It's the slab, the concrete. It's everything you're going to build your strategy on. What is your why? What's your freedom number? How are you going to supplement your income? You're going to work on that for the next 30 days, okay? And then 30, and then 30 through 45. You're just going to marinate in that. So you're already moving, you're taking steps, and it's kind of a test and learn period where you're seeing and identifying what's working, what's not working. Some of you may say, oh, this is great. I'll actually be ready to go before 90 days. Some of you may discover throughout the test and learn period, whoa, real life happens. I need more than 90 days. And if so, you adjust, you pivot as needed. Got it? And then when you get to the 90-day mark or you get to the 120-day mark, we leave what? We leave quietly. We leave professionally. That's it. That's all. You said, so the freedom number is a risk to take. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. What's your freedom number? It's not a risk. It's just knowing. It's a plan. I need, in order for me to feel comfortable, I need, and these are not, I'm just giving you examples, you all. This is not a comprehensive list, a comprehensive like checklist of everything you need. I'm just throwing out examples as you begin to visualize what I'm putting in front of you. Take what works and what's specific to you. Maybe you need $10,000 in the bank and you have 7. So maybe in the next 90 days, your plan is to, how do I get $3 more thousand in the bank? And once you figure, is that a side hustle? Is that a taking on? I don't know. Right. And then you say, oh, I got it. I figured it out. That may take more than 90 days. That may not. Now that you got it, you're ready to go. Maybe for some of you, you may say, well, in order for me to leave, I have to make sure that the mortgage is paid up 3 or 4 months. Well, hold up, Queen Sheba. My husband pays the mortgage. But if you have to make sure that it's paid up 3 or 4 months, then save it on your own or contribute to half of it. Don't tell him or her. But in 90 days, once you've saved it up, say, here's half. Maybe this will ease your pain. I know I don't pay the bills or I'm not responsible for that, but this is what I'm willing to do to make sure that I help you psychologically accept this journey that I'm on. Let's see. Okay, you said they were asking what, but let me go see my questions. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Tisa. She says you are on point. Why? Okay, you got to know your why, and then you're planning, and then you're building. Absolutely. Let me ask, you said the freedom number could be risky though. Like if you Nah, we don't operate in fear. Listen, let me tell y'all something. I don't get up here and talk. If I'm telling you something, it's because I've done it before. So that's why I said this conversation isn't for everybody. This is for those that are confident, that are sure, that have a little bit of get up and go. You're not allowing your what ifs to override your why, right? So this conversation is not for everybody. That's why I said take what you need and chew out the rest, but don't hover over those that are ready. We don't want to discourage them. We don't want to tell them about what could happen. That's not what they're looking for over here. So you got to hold your peace on that part for those of you that this conversation isn't for. Either you're ready to go or you're not. Okay, there we go. Chanel says, so true. Taking a leap of faith and starting a new job next week. I had to explain my why, which is keeping my peace. There you go. As long as you can socializing your why makes people feel a little bit more comfortable, they feel a little bit more included, and then they can understand even if they don't agree. And do not be defensive when your husband, your wife, your partner, your mom, your dog, your cat, even a dog may have concerns. Hold up, because I eat good kibbles. What's going to happen to me? Well, how do I know that maybe one day that you may not have enough for my food? Well, tell the dog, you're good. You'll eat before I eat. Okay? Y'all, please don't put fear-based comments in my chat. I don't want that today. And I'm very serious about that. I don't mind you commenting, but when I'm trying to empower people to get it, people are already afraid. Don't put fear-based comments. Not today. They know that. They understand what the world we live in. We can talk about that all day. That's not how what I'm talking about and what I'm speaking to. I'm speaking life today. I'm speaking power. I'm speaking breaking barriers. I'm speaking a change of mindset. So if I'm on a roll, I need y'all to get behind me with the right energy. Don't counteract what I'm putting out. Oh, that's fine. The beauty of mama, she said, I missed the beginning. We'll come back. That's fine. You can come back. Or you can do replay. Not replay. Yeah, is it rewind? Y'all, I'm telling you, don't counteract what I'm putting out. This is for the people that need it. People were hurt in COVID. And yet you had a first-time millionaires that were able to get out there and use their creative minds and make some ish happen. Let me tell you something. If I operated in a fear-based mindset, you wouldn't be hearing me talking to y'all today. So let's not do that. I don't want to hear that. That's true. That is the reality, but I'm in the world. I'm not of it. If I'm giving you something, if it applies, you take it. But let's not stomp on those that are ready. Let's not pull their shirt back and say, hey, listen, this is a bad economy. Let them run their race. I'm going to drop the link. We got to stop doing that. That's when we have to say, wait, why am I talking? The acronym, synonym, is it synonym or acronym? Wait, why am I talking? I don't need this right now, what she's talking about. So let me be quiet and let me let everybody else that need it get it. But for me, this doesn't apply to me right now. And it's okay to sit this one out. But let's not. Y'all got it? And I love y'all, but I'm asking y'all to be mindful because there's some people in here that want it. It's some people in here that need it. It's some people in here that are ready to go today. They'd rather go and try and say, at least I tried. Oh, my blood pressure is down. There are some people that need to go before they have a heart attack. So let's not get in the way of them. There's some people that need to go before they have a nervous breakdown. So let's make sure that even though it doesn't or may not apply to us, there's some people that need to go to save their marriage, to do more with their children. So you got to be mindful of what you say when people are coming to a well because they're thirsty. Let them get what they need. They're already scared. They're already scared. Okay. Look, anybody, come on. You could be scared. You could be fearful. Click. That's why I'm here. Click the link. Even for those of you that say, well, now it's not the time. Well, let me walk you through it. That's what support is for, to push you and nudge you in places that you haven't been able to get through. For those of you that are on Twitter, for those of you that may be tuned in today on YouTube, click the link. I'm here. That's why I am here. Come ask me the hard questions. Let's think out loud together. There's no right or wrong, but I'm just saying fear will keep you grounded. When I first started this segment, remember I said we all wait for the perfect time. I said we all do, but guess what? There's no perfect time. You got to go. Well, I'm going to go when I'm going to go when he graduates. I'm going to go next year because then there's no perfect time. Because life is going life and life is going to happen. And the people that are living well, not rich, because remember I said you don't have to be rich. The people that are living well, you say, man, you sure are powerful. How did you become so wise? How did you become in such good shape? How did you become such a good? They did it even when they were afraid. Come on, y'all. Let's go. Yvette said, Queen, that's why we don't talk about things because of the negativity. Sometimes people are just allowing their thoughts to get the best of them, but I have to rebuke it in real time. I have to rebuke it. And rebuke is not a bad thing. I just have to rebuke it in real time. Oh, please utilize the super chat feature if you have a question or thoughts to share. Some of you probably can't come up, but if you do a super chat and you have a scenario or a really serious question, I can tackle that for you. Yeah, I can tackle that for you. Hold on, I think we have a caller. Give me 1 second. All right, welcome, Magic Butterfly.
Hey, Queen. It's my first time up. I've been listening to you for a while, but I just came on just to say, as far as what you said, there is no right time. I did the same thing in the middle of COVID. I was working for the post office, and I was 5 months pregnant, and I was just tired, and just listening to my husband. He had been telling me for years, like, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do this. Don't worry. I got you. I got you. And I just didn't. Just my own mindset, I guess. Just thinking that what if it don't work out? And then just one day, I just walked in and I just turned in my resignation and I left. And I had called my husband. I was like, "Well, I did it." And he was like, "You did what?" I said, "I quit." And he was like, "Oh, okay." Um, and we made it work. We did make it work, and like I said, it was in the middle of COVID, and I was pregnant. But here I am. We made it work 5 years later, and I went back to school, and now I am getting my master's degree in nursing.
Oh my gosh, how freaking wonderful. Let's pause. Did you hear what she said? She said there is no such thing as a perfect time. And as a matter of fact, because I think what probably triggered you to come up is when I used COVID as an example, correct?
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
A lot of
In the
people
middle of COVID.
in the middle, dead in the middle, where there was so much uncertainty. I remember
Yeah,
that. And
yeah.
if the truth be told, the workplaces played themselves because they weren't willing to work with a lot of mothers. You remember child care centers were closed down, and then they
Yep.
put people in a position who did not plan. So if you really think planning is scary, try not planning in your job saying, well, if you don't come in, you're going to get fired. Not saying that was your situation, but a lot of women were forced, had that decision to make, and they say, well, fire me because I'm not leaving my kids at home alone. You know, the schools are closed. You know, da 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 da. And they did just fine. They had no choice. This is a choice. This is a pre-plan. But let me ask you this. You left. How has it been for your mental health, your family, and your overall well-being?
The mental health aspect, when I say I it's a whole lot more stress off of me. I mean, it was stressful at the time just for I don't know if anybody knows, but like working at the post office, especially being a mail carrier, you can have an off time of 4:30, but you won't know until you get in and they have to see how many people showed up that day. So imagine not really knowing what time you have to get off. And then at the same time, my husband, he had just got custody of his other children, and like you said, schools were closed, and at the time the post office was saying, okay, enough of this. We were working with y'all at first, as far as schools closed, daycares closed, and you could be off and you could be off, but now it's time to come back to work, and now you got to figure it out. So at that time when I quit, that was going on also, which was also on my mental health because my husband, he was an over the road truck driver, and so he had an unstable schedule. I had an unstable schedule. I was 5 months pregnant at the time. It was a lot, but in essence, I feel a whole lot more better. I feel a lot more better. I mean, like I said, imagine going to work thinking you're supposed to get off at 4:30, and they say, "Oh, you know what? We had 3 people off today. I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to stay out here till about 7:30, 6:30, 7:30."
No
every day.
stability for your kids. They're waiting. They're not. And when you have to stay, the kids have to wait late unto eat, homework. And before you know, you're like, I don't have no control. The only thing that I know is happening. I get a check, and I'm God. Thank you. We're happy for income, but other than that, that's the only thing I can count on is a check a
Yeah,
week every 2 weeks. But outside of that, my life is in shambles. Would that
yeah,
be accurate?
that's very accurate. And to be honest, Queen, I didn't have a plan. Thankfully, like I said, I did have 401, to help out and things like that. And I'm
Yeah.
just it's the best decision I made. And honestly, I think I think me being so stressed out forced me to do it, because I honestly feel like had COVID not hit, I still would have been at the post office just being mentally stressed. Like I would come home and my husband would see it on my face that it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot.
Were
And
you happy? Let me ask you this. Now that you know what you know, and and it's not even like about the job, but when you think about where you were you living your best life?
no,
Got you. Okay.
I
Got
wasn't. I wasn't living my best life. No.
How
No.
long did it take you to really get into the groove of enjoying your days without feeling guilty?
Without feeling guilty, I want to say it didn't take long, but at the same time, without when you say feeling guilty, as far as like what, leaving my coworkers behind, or
No,
like,
just not working. Because I think sometimes, and I could be wrong, there are some people that want to enjoy it, but maybe have been so conditioned that you should be doing A, B, C, and this is how you life. This is what life, this is the American dream. This is what a
yeah,
husband does. This is what a woman
right,
does. This is how the
right.
house is. How long did it take you to just to create your own life and what felt good to you without feeling guilty of what you were supposed to do or not be doing?
I'm be honest, it took me about 6 months. And it's crazy that even though at my big grown age, I didn't tell my parents. I didn't tell my parents because, like you said, my mom she is I think she's considered a baby boomer, born in the 50s, I think. So, that whole age group grew up on the work, work, work type of thing. And I didn't tell my dad either. I just didn't want to hear the criticism. And my husband is the one that ended up telling my dad. My dad was like, "Why didn't you tell me?" And I was like, "Well, I just didn't want to hear, the criticism." And he was like, "Well, first of all, you're an adult. And then number two, if you feel like you couldn't take it no more, I understand. And then number three, if y'all can afford it and make it work, then do what you have to do." And I was like, "Oh, well, I guess I should have been told you."
Well, I mean, it's like you enjoyed your gift first
Yeah,
before
I
sharing
did.
it with others. You know
I
what I
did.
mean?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I didn't want to hear the questions. Well, what you gonna do? Well, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What if this happens? It's in the middle of COVID and da 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 da. We don't know what's gonna happen. And I just didn't feel like hearing that. Honestly, I didn't feel like hearing it, and I just kept it to myself. So it did. It took me about 6 months to finally be like, okay, this is what it is. And to be honest, I didn't go back to school immediately, like you said. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for like maybe like a year and a half, and then
And
I was like, okay,
I want to ask you a specific question because it's not often that many women get to do that,
yeah.
especially Black women. How did that feel for you as a Black woman being 5 months pregnant, getting to stay at home and tend to your newborn without having to find a daycare center, without having to worry about the baby getting sick, if your boss would approve? How did it feel for you?
It it's it's honestly, it's a luxury. I felt luxurious. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not talking about, oh, living in a mansion luxurious. Like I felt like it's something. It was a gift. It really is. It really set things in perspective that a lot of black, like you said, black women don't get to feel that way, or don't get to experience it. And when I was able to stay home, like you said, when my baby was sick, and I don't have to try and find a babysitter, or I don't have to hear from my manager, oh, you need to come in, and or we're threatening you with a write up, this, that, and the other. It felt, if it does feel good. If it feel good, it's a luxury that not many Black women are allowed to afford, unfortunately. Even though we can, but it's a societal thing, just making you feel like you shouldn't. I guess making you feel guilty or making you feel like you shouldn't.
This, listen, I just love the fact that you acted on your instinct just to share your experience with leaving the corporation over 5 years ago, right dab smack in the middle of COVID, and not just COVID,
And I
right?
had 7 years in. I had some. It's not long compared to other people that's been there, but I had some years in to where the point you will feel comfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I like you also said she did what I encourage most of you to do. Now, a lot of people would not agree with my advice, but that's okay. When I say take your 401k with you, and you took it with you, didn't you?
sure did. I took it with me.
Boom.
I took
Boom.
it with me.
This has been such a phenomenal example of stepping out on faith, even when, and in spite of what's happening, because that was not a perfect time. It was COVID.
No,
She was 5 months pregnant. Y'all, when I talk about badass, she's a badass in the most beautiful way. Magic Butterfly, thank you so much for coming up to share your story. They say you sound so confident, and you use the word, it felt luxurious. Man, I think that I'm marinating in that.
yeah, yeah. I just felt compelled to call in when you said it's never going to be the right time, because it's not. It's never going to be the right time, because you're always going to come up with another reason or another excuse of, okay, but what if it's always going to be, is there will always be a what if. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Like I
Thank
said, I feel a whole lot better. My skin has cleared up.
Wow.
My skin has cleared up. I was going back looking at pictures. I mean, I had the worst breakouts. When I say my skin has cleared up so bad, I mean so much better. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Wow. All I can say is wow, because sometimes it needs no words. It just needs to like let it trickle down to those that need it. I am so glad you came up, and thank you so much for sharing with us.
No problem. Thank you, Queen.
Thank
Appreciate you.
All right, y'all. So that was Magic Butterfly. I think that was probably one of the most beautiful examples we could have asked for. This is an unscripted show. I don't know who's going to call in. And that was a perfect example of being a government worker in the midst of what we would declare a natural disaster, right? 5 months pregnant, uncertainty, not sure what's going to happen, but somebody that said, it's time. I got 7 years of equity on this job. And her why had nothing to do with the dollar sign. Her why had everything to do with her health. Whew. That was so good. And that's why we do these segments. Yeah. And sometimes, I don't get the big numbers that I do when I do the entertainment, but these segments are so fulfilling. And y'all, I'm so passionate. I'll push back. But most of you that are here, you've been with me for a while. You understand the passion. You understand the challenges. So I thank you, Tisha and Thames, for hanging in there, because I'm going to bring it. I'm going to push back. My job is to get you moving, not to let you trample me, but my job is to get you moving. And I'm going to push through, and I'm going to plow through, because I got to be able to talk that talk and walk that walk if I'm going to give you strategies. Thank you, Magic Butterfly. I agree, Inez Martin. Excellent testimony. It's me, CC says, my why was my mental health. All right. Aisha says, I've only been in the chat 10 minutes, and this has given me confirmation. Yeah, that's what it's about. So blessings to all of you that are tuned in. Put this on replay. Miss Tina says she loves these segments. I do too. And I really have become more thoughtful about them. If you go back from when we first started, oh my God. So today I've really grown. I've become more thoughtful, but so have you all. So once again, thank you, everybody. This will conclude the Corporate Wednesday morning segment. Everybody, as always, it's a pleasure having you here. Have a fantastic Wednesday.